are back here at the What Cheer Writers Club for our second episode of Parental Control. This week we're gonna talk about pregnancy.
And our experience through the trimesters and how they also vary so much from person to person. Let's start, with finding out.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most reasonable place to start. So, I found out I was pregnant in February. I believe the exact date was February 19th. And I was just like, I was scared. I was very scared. Even though I went through this process already once, I was just like, what am I doing? Clearly, I don't learn my lesson. And I don't know, it was a lot of emotions that you really can't pinpoint, just like everything at once. It's going from like scared to like a little bit excited to, thank you. Oh, sorry. To pick up the phone.
You can see Raven has joined us again.
To, I don't know, it was just a weird experience when it comes to like the emotions at the beginning for me, especially because of where I was in getting myself situated in my life and my relationship, my family stuff. Just like there was a lot going on at that point for me, so that kind of started the first trimester in like a weird way for me. How about you?
It probably left you like not excited.
It was like I had like this ounce of excitement that was like, oh, a baby. It's so cute, but it was like overshadowed by like every other negative feeling there was, and like or like indifferent feeling, or just like, okay, now I got some choices to make. Now I need to make an appointment. Now I need to do this, and it kind of just like overshadowed that little bit of excitement, especially right now. This time I wasn't 19 and pregnant, so I should have been able to enjoy it a little bit more, but it was still like, I
feel like a lot of people have this set image of what it's going to be like when they find out they're pregnant, especially like when at like a young age, if you're looking and you're like, oh, I can't wait until I have a baby, and then like you get to that age, and once you find out you're pregnant, like I found out I was 26. It was just last August. And I was like, oh my God, like, I feel like a kid. Like, I'm a kid. Like, I can't do this.
What
like,
do I do?
What am I doing? That really set in like a few weeks after I found out. We were both so excited. I remember taking the test. Because I was like, the last few days I was like so nauseous, and I was like, I'm pregnant. Like, there's no way I'm not pregnant. I'm never this nauseous. Took the test. It was positive. We were so excited. And then like after a few weeks, we kind of were just like,
this is real.
Okay. And then we're thinking of everything we have to do, and we're just like, okay. Like, this was a great idea.
In theory.
At the time.
Yeah, in that moment,
Yeah.
it was awesome. And then it's like,
it was really for us, like, the excitement really overshadowed everything at first, and then once like reality kicked in, it was like kind of like the shock.
It hit you all at once. Yeah.
Like crazy, like, oh my God, I'm pregnant. And like I'm at an age where, you know, it's like, okay, you should be ready to have a baby, or you know what I mean? Like no. I feel like even if you're 30 and
you're never
pregnant,
really ready to have a baby.
There's no like age, not limit, but there's no age that's like, okay, you're stable enough to have a baby. It's like,
and you're never really ready. Like, you can get as ready as you can, and it's like you're as ready as you'll ever be.
Yes.
And then even then, it's like you can prepare, like you said, like for 30 years.
I think
and
too,
it's just
I look at like my mom, for example, or like even like my aunts, like people around me who had babies, and they just made it look so easy. And I think they didn't talk about the hard, the hard experiences or the hard things that come with having a baby.
It's just like, oh, it's not easy. It's like, okay, so where's the details?
Yeah, it's just,
where's the details?
It's not easy, or like, it takes a village, or this is not, and it's like, I'm glad that, like, we talk about it now so that we know, or like, what happens when you get pregnant. That it's not that, like, oh, this is so easy, this is a maternal instinct, like, it's just gonna come so naturally, this and that, and then, you hear people say that, and then come time that, like, you get pregnant, and you're like, this should feel so natural, why isn't this feeling natural, why am I not happy all the time, that, like, I'm growing this baby,
and then people say, oh, it's such a beautiful experience. Personally, and I'm speaking for myself, there's nothing beautiful about pregnancy except for the fact that you're growing a life. Like, that's God. Like, that's like a miracle. That's crazy to me. But then, even that, it's like, once you feel the baby kicking and stuff like that, and it's like real, it's like, I have an alien inside me.
Yeah.
Like, the beauty goes out the window, and then it just becomes all sorts of creepy.
Yeah.
But pregnancy it's the first difficult step, and the baby's not even here yet.
Yeah.
I think for me too, the first trimester, I have two situations, two kids and two pregnancies to compare to, and I will say they were different. They weren't crazy different. I think I got lucky in that sense, but they were different. And no, it's not because it's a boy or a girl. It's a myth. You can have 7 girls and each 7 pregnancies be
so different.
But like, my personal experience with my first, with Z, it was such an easy pregnancy in, like, physical and everything, and it was just like no more morning sickness, no nausea, no throwing up.
Wow.
No, it was easy. The whole pregnancy was easy, and I didn't get lucky the second time around at all. It was just like, there was like a meme or whatever that was like, oh, if you have an easy first child, it's just
easier the second one or something.
No, it's a myth. It's just a trick for the universe or whatever to trick you into reproducing again, because it's not the same the second time around. And I will say that is exactly it. That's all I thought about the second pregnancy, and I was just like, what is this? Why does my body hate me? Like, what? With the second one, I had morning sickness the whole first trimester. I never actually, like, puked, but I'd rather puke than be nauseous all day.
Yes.
I will say that, because that is the worst. And, like, I didn't lose my appetite. I'm fat. Like, I eat and I eat and I eat. I lose my appetite for all of, like, 10 minutes while I'm nauseous, and then once I can eat again, I just stuff my face. That's how it was the second time. But luckily I didn't, like, I was able to hold everything down, and there were certain points where I didn't have an appetite, but then there were certain points where I literally had, like, cravings, and like, I would not eat anything but what I wanted, and I would eat all day. So it was, like, really weird. That was really the whole pregnancy, but let's focus on the first trimester. But, like, I remember the first trimester, I bought the 5-pack of the Blue Box mac and cheese. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. I love Blue Box mac and cheese. And I had a box by myself for breakfast. And I had a box by myself for lunch. Wow. And I had a box by myself for dinner.
Wow.
I didn't want anything else but that stupid Blue Box mac and cheese. And it was crazy. That was crazy.
I had the exact opposite first trimester, where, in a sense, I was super, super nauseous, like I said. So that's how I knew I was pregnant. And then throughout the entire first trimester, I was trying to fight the nausea, being sick. I had no appetite. people who knew I was pregnant were like, what are you craving? And I'm like, I'm craving to, like, want to eat food. Like, I want to eat food. I should want to eat food. I was throwing up multiple times a day. I could not even drink water. And I was just, like, so nervous that I was doing such bad things for her because I couldn't keep anything down. And it was really, really bad. I remember throwing up constantly, not wanting to eat anything, but trying to force myself to eat for her. And it was frustrating when everyone kept saying, oh, what are you craving? Like, are you craving anything yet? And I'm just like, are you craving sweets? Are you craving salt? And I'm like, I really just want to be able to eat. I want to eat, and I don't want to eat. I remember throwing up. I don't know if this is TMI, so I'm sorry. But I went to Brood Awakenings with my mom one morning, and I was like, oh, I'm actually hungry. I'm going to order this sandwich. It's going to have avocado, egg, cheese, and avocado. And I housed it. And then we weren't like 5 minutes out of the parking lot when I said, you have to pull over. And she pulled over, opened the door, and I just lost the entire sandwich.
I kept pulling away from her, so she grabbed my hand, and
then
you're
not going anywhere.
She's funny. You're smart.
So I was very, very sick, and then I kept trying the ginger candies. I kept trying the saltines. Everyone's like, you just need to eat. And I'm like, well, what do you do when, like,
you can't?
You are repulsed by food, like, literally repulsed by food. So I tried all that. I tried everything that they said, and then finally, someone recommended B6 and the Unisom sleeping pill, the combination together, and oh my God, that was a lifesaver.
Really?
My entire pregnancy, I had to stay on it because I was so sick.
That's crazy. I've never heard that.
Oh my God, it was so bad. It was so bad.
Oh, good thing I don't want to have no more kids.
My first trimester was like a nightmare. So that, again, like, the excitement, and then, like, oh my God.
Then everything hits you.
Yeah, like, I'm not being healthy for her. Because, like, you're no longer worrying about, like, your health reasons. Like, you have to eat good because you're growing these little beans. Okay. Okay, well, let's not.
I know once you hit that second trimester mark,
Woo-hoo.
It is such a relief.
Really.
Because you end up getting some of your energy back. You end up, I think for the most part, the norm, even though everyone's pregnancy is different, the norm is like the second trimester is easier than
I feel like
both others.
Everyone can relate to that, where, you know, it might have not been the best,
but it's
easier
better
the first.
Better than the first, and then I would say better than the third too.
Yeah.
Because
oh,
you just get bigger and more exhausted, but you have a little more energy that second trimester, and
you're not as big yet, so it makes you feel kind of normal, and you're like, oh, this isn't so bad.
Yeah, you're getting your little belly, but it's not 20 pounds.
All right, Raven.
So I don't know. I don't have much for the second trimester. It was okay.
I was still getting sick. Like I said, everyone would be like, oh, how are you feeling? And I was like, you know, if it wasn't for these pills, it would be awful. But since I was on the pills, it was great. So I think the second trimester was when I actually started, like, having more cravings. I think I ate Panera, like, I don't know, maybe 4 times a week I had Panera. That was a big one for me, Panera. The mac and cheese.
Did you just eat the same thing all the time?
I did. It was the mac and cheese, and I'd get a sandwich with, like, all cheese. It was just, like,
it was just cheese.
It was just all cheese.
That's funny because I craved stuff with cheese throughout my pregnancy.
Really?
That's weird.
That is weird.
Yeah. Like, I wanted quesadillas and, like, tacos with, like, extra cheese and grilled cheese and the blue box mac and cheese.
The blue box mac and cheese.
That didn't go away at all. That's weird.
Yeah. I actually craved a lot of sweets, too, with her. Cookies was my thing. Cookies and cupcakes and, oh my God, zebra cakes.
I don't like them, period.
I
never got anything. I never got any cravings of, like, stuff that I didn't normally like. Did you?
I did actually. I did.
Oh my
So
God.
I craved olives. I hated olives
they're
before
so
I had
good.
her. I hated them. Everyone like, what kind of Italian are you? Like, you don't like olives. And for some reason, when I was pregnant with her, I craved olives, and I
That's
started
fine.
eating them. And then after I had her, now I'm still obsessed with olives.
I know I
It's
had an
so weird.
aversion, a food aversion. Well, drink. I was very upset. So the Bottle House drinks from like Stop and Shop or whatever. So they have the vanilla chais. Okay, so my obsession, vanilla chai from Dunkin'. So I get the Bottle House chais from Stop and Shop, right? And it started in the first trimester, and I bought one, and I started drinking. I drank it like around the store, and I was like, this tastes funny. Maybe it was like just bad.
Yeah.
So I didn't finish it. And then a few weeks later, I think by that time it was the second trimester, so I'm like, this is over. I tried again. I cried because I didn't like it. So I stayed away from the vanilla chai the whole pregnancy. And I was so depressed because I was just like, I know I like it. I know I want one. It's just I can't.
My body's telling me it
My
wants
body
it.
hates it. But that was really the only thing. And
Mine was white
That's
rice. My aversion.
really?
Oh my God.
I would not be able to survive.
I know. I love rice. I love rice. I'm able to eat it again finally, thank God. But for some reason, I would throw up or I would be so nauseous if I ate rice. I think the first like 3 times I tried eating rice with her, I threw up.
Oh my God.
And then I was just like, anytime I saw it, I was like, no. Or people like, oh, do you want white rice? And I was like,
Being
No.
Hispanic too, if I had that
no rice.
food aversion, what would I eat?
Yeah.
Like, we eat lasagna with rice. Like that, like what would we eat?
Yeah, that was a bad one. That and sweet potatoes, and I actually still can't eat sweet potatoes. I loved sweet potatoes, and then I had her, and I was just like, anytime I had a sweet potato, I was like,
Have
no.
you tried it since the pregnancy?
I have.
And you just
I eat it now, and it's like the same feeling where I'm like, no.
You guys just mess with all
Yeah, look
of
what
our
you did to
emotions and our
Mommy.
taste buds.
I loved sweet potatoes.
It's all right. That means that she might like it. She took the taste bud from you,
Yeah, there we go.
right? You gonna eat everything? She's just looking at me like, lady, stop talking to me. But yeah, the second trimester is easier. Just going
It
with
tricks
it.
you into feeling like, this is gonna be a breeze.
Yes.
Like this was bad.
It's a setup.
But now it's gonna be a breeze.
It's a setup. Get you nice and comfy.
Mm.
And then ready for the third trimester. Well, you think you're ready for the third trimester, but you're really not.
Dun.
But the third trimester, it gets bad. I think that last like month and a half is the worst, the absolute worst part. I didn't have many complaints that last trimester other than how long it felt. It felt like I was not pregnant for 9 months, but 9 years.
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy. Those last few weeks, I was, like, dying on the inside. And I'm just like, why am I so big? With Zamir, both pregnancies, actually, I was mostly baby. I didn't really gain weight all over. The last, like, month, I was very swollen.
Yeah.
But it was more, like, swelling and not, like... And it was just puffy.
Oh, I was so puffy.
I carried mostly all baby both times, thankfully.
That's good.
But with the second, I felt like I was getting bigger a lot sooner. So like in the second trimester, I was already like bigger than I was at that time with my first. So then I was like, oh my God, I already know this is going to be an issue. Once I get to the end, I'm going to be big. And I sure enough was. I was big. I was waddling
I was waddling
a lot
in, like,
sooner.
the second
I was waddling like in the second trimester. I started waddling with Z in the third trimester because I really blew up in the third trimester.
Yeah.
But this time around, I was a duck from trimester 2.
Do you want to say something to the class?
No.
I was actually underweight when I found out I was pregnant. I was seeing a nutritionist at the time, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be great for me because I have to gain weight, so like I'm gonna gain weight. She's obviously gonna make me gain weight. So I ended up gaining the appropriate amount for what I should. I think it was like 35 pounds, and I was so puffy. Like, I did not recognize myself. Like, between my lips and my nose and like my arms and my fingers and
Everything.
ankles, oh my god, everything was just like puffy. Oh, also, I wanted to mention this too because I don't know if this has happened to anyone else or just me, but my hands the entire pregnancy were extremely hot all the time. I used to have to like run to the refrigerator and throw them in the freezer.
Throw your hands in the...
Literally throw them in the freezer. I had this lotion from Bath and Body Works that was like a cooling aloe lotion, and I'd have to keep it at my desk, but like I'd have to run when I was at work. I'd have to run to the bathroom and throw them under cold water. Like,
I've never heard that.
it was so annoying.
Oh, that went all the way.
Oh yeah, girl, all your toys are on the floor. Next one. What was I saying? Oh.
Your hands
So
were hot.
Yeah, my hands were hot all the time. It was the strangest thing, and everyone was like, I don't know. Even like the metal desks that are like in our desk, I would like stick my hands on it to like cool them down.
Oh my god, I've never heard that. Has anyone else heard
please
that
let
before?
us know if you or someone
or if that's
you know,
just a her thing.
like,
It might just be a her thing.
might be.
Maybe
I
should
was
Google it.
actually
Did
really.
you Google it?
Maybe I did. I can't remember. It's possible that I did.
I'm gonna Google it.
I can't imagine
after.
me not Googling it.
Oh,
I
my phone
remember
is
being
recording.
so aggravated in the third trimester because I'm one to like do everything by myself. Like, I don't ask for people's help for anything. Like, even my boyfriend, he gets so mad when like I don't ask for his help. It's like, I can do that, and I'm just like, no, I got it. So in the last trimester, it was like so annoying for me to like have to ask people to do things for me. I had a really bad tendency of dropping everything. Like, I dropped everything, and I would just be like, okay, it's gone forever. But like, there were so many times a bit, can you pick that up for me? Or like, can you go do this for me? Can you go do that for me? Like, people like, don't lift this, don't lift that, and like I'd be like, I know, but I can still lift some things. Like, that was another huge struggle for me, was to start asking people to do things for me because I was a whale.
Agreed. I gotta say, I agree. I kept getting yelled at because I live on the third floor. It's not a true third floor. It's like a 2.5 third floor. Like, the first floor is in the basement type thing.
Oh, there you go.
So it's not too crazy, but the laundry is in the basement, like on the first floor. And I kept getting yelled at because I was told several times to not go downstairs and bring the laundry down. And I still went and did it and brought the laundry up. Because I'm just like, I just want it done now.
Yeah, like I want to do it.
If nobody's
like,
home and like, it's like, even if you're down the street 5 minutes, and just like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Or like people doing things on their time, and you're like, no, I need this done.
I want it done now because if I could do it, I will do it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason. Like, I'm not missing limbs.
Yes.
I got this.
Yeah.
But then in reality, it's like
And
that.
you don't got
It
this.
was tough.
Yeah. And
being
I think you
so big.
feel so helpless at that point that you're just so annoyed.
Yes.
And you're like,
and you're so used to doing things on your own, and then it's like you're moving slower, you're getting tired faster. Like, I would fall asleep. I would go put the laundry down, and then I would go upstairs, take a nap, and then be like, oh my god. 2 hours later, after the laundry only takes 20 minutes to wash, 2 hours later, I'm like, oh my god, I had to go move the clothes. And then it's like, do I need to? Do I want to? Who's home? Can somebody else do it for me? Like, I actually, what's super cool is one of my neighbors from the first floor actually put a note card. I started leaving note cards downstairs, and I was just like, "Oh, sorry,
My
8 months
laundry.
pregnant. Can you please call me when you're done?" Or like, people would do I learned that people would do their laundry mostly on Fridays and the weekends, and then Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays nobody does laundry in my building. So, if I needed to do laundry like on a Friday or something, instead of going up and down the stairs like checking if the washer was done and if the dryer was open or whatever, I would just leave note cards, and I'm just like, okay, apartment, blah, blah, blah.
I'll be back for this.
At 8 months,
eventually.
Can you please call me when it's done? If you need to use it, please call me. Like, and I left my phone number. The lady in the apartment downstairs, apartment 3, shout out to you if you ever see this.
You're the real MVP.
She's the real MVP because I left a note and I was like, can you please let me know if you need to use the washer? And I had to put the stuff in the dryer.
Yeah.
So I'm like, just call me if it's done. I'm 8 months pregnant, blah, blah, blah. She actually called me, left me a message. She moved the stuff to the dryer for me.
Oh my
And
God.
she started it. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh, you're the best.
She's the bomb. And then she even, I was washing the baby's dad's like work clothes, and he has like work hats.
Yeah.
So I wash them and then I take them out and I don't put them in the dryer.
Right.
So I let them air dry. She actually left them out. Like when she didn't reach me, she just like left them out and
Wow.
did that for me. And then I called her right back and I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. Well, she's like, oh, I was just trying to be helpful. I'm like, oh,
You were.
you're the best. You're getting a thank you card from me. So yeah, I think too, not that you get used to asking for help at the last stretch, but
But you kind
because you need to, you get used to like, at least in that like last month when you really, really can't, and you're just like, I am too tired, I am exhausted, I am over it.
You're like, please stop kicking me. My ribs were bruised.
Really?
My ribs were bruised.
He never was in my ribs at all.
Oh my God. I couldn't breathe. Like, it was so bad to the point where she constantly, I think she had a foot, like, in between my rib cage, like, in one of the slots.
Oh my God.
Because it hurt so bad. It hurt so bad. That was my complaint. My biggest complaint the third trimester was, like,
They don't have no room,
get
so they're just
out
everywhere.
of me because this is,
Not fun.
No.
Being tortured from the inside out.
no. And I was just saying the other day to one of my coworkers, I'm like, once you're done, like, your insides are just not the same. I'm like, I just feel like everything just, like, everything's been moved around, so it's, like, all oddly, like,
Isn't it
in
so
there.
crazy? It just, how much stuff we have inside of us, like our body, and then to accommodate a growing uterus and a baby, it just, everything literally moves. And
then it
like,
just goes
it's
back.
Just crazy.
But, like, you don't know where it goes back.
You know, a
Not to, like,
uterus
creep you out,
is
but-
only like yay big or something. Like I saw some comparison. Bless you. I don't know what that was, but bless you.
Was that a cough or a sneeze?
I think that was both. Oh, it's coming. Bless you. No, it's not. You're welcome. I saved you. So I think it's like really cool how that happens. But I saw I saw like a diagram thing, and it was like the uterus is like small. And then it accommodates something like
this.
like Raven.
Yeah.
Not her size.
No.
No. That's a really big baby.
Ooh.
But I mean, imagine some people have like 10-pound babies, 11-pound
know.
babies and stuff, and like,
I'm sorry.
how big was Raven?
She was 6'14".
Yeah, Z was 7 pounds 6 ounces. I want to say around there, and then number 2, he was 8 pounds 2 ounces. He's already 9.5 pounds.
He's a full-grown man.
Already. He's 3 weeks today, and
Oh.
he's already way past where he's supposed to be. Yeah. I just keep looking at him, and I'm like, you came out of me?
Yes.
You never stop saying that either.
Oh my
You
God,
always
right?
look at your kids, and you're just like, wow, I made you.
Yeah, look at this thing. Like, I made this. Okay. I made this troublemaker.
Like, you came from me.
Yeah, like
We did
I
this.
grew you. It's really cool. Our bodies are really cool, women.
We
Just
do.
saying.
We're great.
We are. Look at what we
We do a lot. And we're the only ones that can do it.
Yeah.
Men can't.
So as
Men
bad
can't
as you
even
might
handle
feel,
periods.
no, they can't.
They
He's
wouldn't
like,
be
can
able
you
to
get me
handle
tampons?
that.
I don't know what they look like.
They wouldn't be able to deal with cramps.
Oh,
They
no.
wouldn't be able to deal with.
They get a cold and it's like deathbed.
Yeah, and we rock. I don't think we give ourselves enough credit
No.
for what we do and what we're capable of.
And I don't think
And
you
it's just
realize
like-
it too until you have a baby. Because you
Afterwards,
literally
yeah.
just, I don't know. At least for me, like I've never felt like I wanted to advocate more for women than after I had Raven. Like I always supported women, but like,
It's different if you get like a different
Yeah.
side of it.
and you're just like, wow, like you're incredible. Like women are incredible. That's just how I felt after having her. It's like everything we do.
And it's like so many changes, not just even physically, but like
Yeah.
mentally, emotionally, like everything changes, and you don't even like realize it until after the fact. And it's like, wow, I did that, I made it through, and like it's cool.
Oh,
It's just
nice
really
big
cool.
burp. Yeah, so if anyone's pregnant right now, just like the advice I have for you is like be gentle with yourself, because you're gonna need it. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Know that it's not permanent, you being pregnant. It will end.
There is an end to
There
it,
is.
even though it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah.
There's an end.
And you get a cute little thing out of it.
Oh, was
Gives
that an
death
eye roll?
stares. Oh my gosh.
Was that an eye roll?
Little girl, you gotta be nice. You give your mom a kiss. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, you
See,
sweet
you
girl.
get- at the end of it all, you get one of these.
You do. No. We
Go
don't
into
have our
labor
labor.
and delivery, which
That'll
will
be
then be
next episode.
next week. We'll be back.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Okay. All right, well, thank you for joining us again.
We will be back next week with another episode of Parental Control. See you later.
Say bye, Raven.